Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to 2-Minute Drill, the first pitch-only show that features entrepreneurs from all walks of life, competing each week for a mix of cash and prizes. Hosted by legendary entrepreneur, sports executive, and investor, David Meltzer. Contestants have just 2 minutes to deliver their most convincing pitch ever. Who will fold under the pressure?
Dude, maybe you need to go get some therapy. I don't think anyone's gonna work for you.
And who will thrive?
I thought your pitch was outstanding.
After the pitches are complete, the judges will deliberate to decide our champion.
You need to, in my opinion, figure out how you can niche down so crazy small that it's perfect.
Will they rise to the occasion?
So we just missed that heart inside the pitch. It would change everything.
Will they blow away the judges?
I thought your pitch was amazing, and every step of the way you were hitting it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, check, check, check.
I love how concise you were about the value. It saves money and it saves time.
Will they be crowned champion?
Your 2 minutes starts now.
David Meltzer hosts 2-Minute Drill.
I thought you were.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday training, pre-holiday training. We got our community in the background. We'll be joining with those guys in a minute with Nick of Wam. Today, we're going to do a special training with some friends on abundance versus prosperity. And we're going to talk about how and what differences to utilize in that in prosperous life that we can live. And we got some friends coming on today to help me with this. We've been doing training for over 25 years. I don't know if Nick of Wam wants to come on here real quick and go ahead and hope. There we go. Thank you. All right. We are broadcasting, multicasting. We are back.
Got you, cool.
No, we're good. Over 25 years of training. That means this is the pre-holiday training, and we're going to talk about prosperity versus abundance. And I think a lot of people are abundant, but they live in prosperity. And the reconciliation in the infinite loop of giving has a causal effect in that there's much more to giving than giving to attain prosperity. You can give in a mindset of abundance, but true abundance has to include an idea of prosperity in that infinite loop of more than enough of everything for everyone. That prosperity exists for everyone, and there's more than enough prosperity for everyone. And I do think that abundance is a precursor to prosperity, but they are mutually exclusive in your own energy intentions that you give it. So I'm going to bring on a couple of experts to help us today. First, let's let the Nick of Wam, the well-oiled machine, the youngest time freak that I know. We both share a love language of time together. And Nick of Wam, amazing Jerremy Newsome waiting. We got the amazing Ike Shahada waiting. We got all of our community waiting. So why don't you go ahead and set the room for our abundance versus prosperity training?
Absolutely. And we are fired up here on Friday. Happy Friday. Whether you're online all across the world or live on Clubhouse in the Breakfast with Champions community. Welcome. It is, of course, 6:03 a.m. on the West Coast, 9:03 a.m. on the East Coast. And let's make sure before we kick off this incredible training to continue to invite all our friends, family, colleagues, anybody that would benefit from this incredible conversation. And as David mentioned, today's training topic is prosperity versus abundance. So we do have a few special guests that are going to be joining us as they guide us through what is the first half hour. And then, of course, we will open it for Q&A. So as you think of your questions today, of course, if you are online, please go ahead and submit them in the chat. If you're live here on Clubhouse and already on stage, please just put a note in the room chat and I will pass the mic over your way. Or of course, if you're in the audience, please use the hand icon, request to join the stage, and we will aim to bring you up. With that said, David, do you mind if I do a quick little review of how we're going to be kicking off 2025 and our schedule of options, opportunities, and touches of favor?
I would please mention about what we're doing to grow our own private networking group that we have, that people should reach out to you, as we have a special gift for all of our community everywhere to join our one-on-one and private networking group. So if you can start there, move into the first few things, and I'll supplement it if you forgot what we're doing.
Absolutely. And to kick things off on the right foot, people, we are continuing to expand and grow our Monday community for networking and, of course, mentorship. And we would love everybody for this community to join us. So please, whether it's reaching out to me directly, Nick, NIC at dmeltzer.com, or, of course, David directly, David at dmeltzer.com. Please reach out to us, as we would love to get you involved and have everybody on those Monday calls as well, especially to kick off the new year. But with that said, in terms of travels and upcoming events, to kick off the new year, we will be kicking off on Wednesday, January 8th in Atlanta for the Aspire Business Tour. David Goggins, Marcus Lemonis, Dan Fleischman, and so many other incredible friends. Before then, we venture over to Las Vegas for CES and our investor mastermind. Of course, linking up with the Global Gaming League and the incredible Clinton Sparks. Will Am's going to be coming and joining us at SiriusXM Studios, and many other friends. So please, ladies and gentlemen, these are all invitations, not obligations, but please reach out. David at dmeltzer.com. But more importantly, join the text community, whether it's our Monday group, whether it's Atlanta for Aspire or Vegas for CES. You'll be getting the reminders on where we're going to be and how you can join us. And the text community is just 949-298-2905. Now, with that said, David, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you to bring on our first guest and dive into the prosperity versus abundance training.
You got it. And I was blessed to be joined at our SoFi Mastermind at SoFi Stadium. These are some regulars that you'll see there, along with Tom Bilyeu and Marshall Falk and Linda Cohn from ESPN. So make sure you tune in monthly SoFi Mastermind. We're launching Catalyst with Bedros Cooley and myself, John Barrett. But I'm working with these two guys, and we're going to introduce my partner in abundance and prosperity. He's the man who has made and empowered more people to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. The incredible Jerremy Newsome with 2 R's. Come on, brother. What's going on?
What's up, rock star? It's great seeing you, man.
Great to have you here. And you are the founder of Real Life Trading, and you have helped so many people, including my kids, learn about a golden rule. I was someone early on in my career who got so busy working, I forgot to make real money. And you could get so busy working, you forget how easy it is to live in prosperity and to take advantage of your abundant mindset. And as we get into this, I thought I'd bring out an iconic figure of both prosperity and abundance, a friend of ours, pound for pound, inch for inch, one of the kindest, most generous people I've ever met on earth. And he even named his company in alignment with the philosophy that he has, as he is in New Orleans, where I went to law school, very close to Tulane University. The incredible, edible Ike from Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Ike Shahada, what's up, my brother?
What's up, dude? Two of my favorite people. Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Seeing you, Ike.
Well, thank you. I know you're launching store number like 121, I Love and Sandwiches, and if anybody hasn't tried it, then they haven't been one of my masterminds, one of my VIP deals, because we're always utilizing Ike's Love and Sandwiches to share the love of nutrition and taste. But you're down there in New Orleans. I know we're going to be launching at Super Bowl the Dave Meltzer No Po' Boy. And so, you know, New Orleans is famous for po' boy. I'm famous for no po' boy, and I don't know any po' boys in the world. So it's the anti po' boy. You get to come down and try it out. Give me some unique aspects, how prosperity is intertwined as you're opening up your 120 something store down in New Orleans today.
One thing I realized literally on the first day that I opened, when I didn't sell anything back in 2007 on Halloween, is that nobody is entitled to having themselves or their product bought by someone else. It's not that you have to earn it. It's just when I started putting out value, which was immediately the second day. Second day is how I lived my whole life. And you've seen it, because I was stood outside the store. Nobody bought anything in the first day. Stood inside, and my sandwiches are delicious. You should buy from me. Obviously you should, but that wasn't how it worked. So the second day I stood outside, and everyone I said hi to, let me buy you a sandwich, David. Hey, let me buy you a sandwich. I asked every single person I saw on the second day, let me buy you lunch. People thought that, well, why would you want to buy me lunch? And the thing is I want to feed people, and I want to love them through my food and through my recipes. And then from that day on, it was just busier every single day ever since, because I stopped caring about, hey, come in and buy from me, and here, take what I have to give. And the more food, and the more I act that way, and the more food, like I've given away more food than I've probably made in my whole life. And that hasn't stopped from the success, because it wasn't about the money. It's about what I want to do. And then people actually want to buy that or give you value back in exchange for the value that I've been giving.
So true.
And Jerremy, isn't it fun that on that second day, when he became mission, not commission driven, that the people would actually say no. People would actually say, no, man, it's okay. But why, guys, I want to answer from both of you. Why do you think when, and I've experienced this because I've given away sandwiches at SoFi Stadium, walked the parking lot before we went into the game. We've given away the masterminds and the VIP experiences that I have. Why do you think people say no, other than maybe they're not hungry, but people say they're hungry and they say no, and you almost have to convince them to receive?
I think receiving is hard for a lot of people, and I believe it's mostly because they don't feel worthy of receiving, and that's a unique distinction of like feeling worthy to actually have something. It requires a lot of time, it requires a lot of energy to work on yourself, to be like, you know what, the universe wants to bless me with things. I'm ready for those blessings to come into my life. That energy definitely takes time. It takes awareness. It takes perspective. And if you do not spend time, energy, and effort to be okay to receive anything, I mean, we're coming up on an amazing season to receive presents, gifts, loves, opportunity. That's the time that people are okay to receive, because again, it's scheduled for them. But in addition to that, it's pretty rare for people to really be open to it.
How about you, Ike? You experienced first term. So today's the launch down in New Orleans. I assume you'll be offering value to everyone down on your new store by Protocol down there in the French Quarter, the French market side of it. One of my favorite spots. It's going to kill it. But you know, you experience this all the time. Why do people resist you?
Oh my gosh. So because I have the opportunity to give a lot, I see a lot of no's. And I think it's culturally, in addition to what Jeremy was saying, like people don't want to receive. I know how many times have somebody gone, "Hey, would you like a glass of water even?" And you're like, "No, I'm fine." And then literally 15 seconds later, you go, "Man, you know what? I really wish I said yes to that glass of water." And then on top of that, we feel bad going, "Actually, I made a mistake. Yes, I do want water." And then so even though now we know we did want the water, we still don't often ask for the water. Yesterday I was out, or the last few days I've been out passing out flyers promoting the business, like literally a free sandwich. And I would go, "Hey, do you like free food?" And people like, "Why are you asking me if I want free food?" I'm like, "Here's a sandwich. Here's a coupon for a sandwich." So you don't even have the "I don't want to eat right now," or "It's weird that you're trying to give me food." And people are like, I don't know how to receive that. And like I said, that's why I think a lot of it is culturally too. I know when I was growing up, it's not really easy to ask. And I know one of your biggest teachings when I've been around you is, hey, you have to ask. You have to ask. People want to give. And that's a thing that we don't have ingrained in us. Every time somebody's asked you for something and you've done it, didn't that make you feel better? I know it makes me feel better too. We haven't shaken that into us in the fabric of society yet. In addition to some people have not feeling worthy and things like that too, which we can also work on.
I want everybody, that all my friends down there in New Orleans, go ahead and get away from. There's a long line today, as always, at Finn there in the corner, and of course, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the place on Canal with the beef sandwich. Name of that place that down there, everybody lines up on. All those people. Now I'm losing my mind.
For what, Mothers?
Mothers thing. Yeah, you got it. So Mothers. I want everybody that goes to Mothers on Friday to try Ike's Love and Sandwiches. I'll be down there for the Super Bowl launch, the No Po' Boy, very first anti-po' boy sandwich. It's an abundance versus prosperity No Po' Boy sandwich, and Ike and I'll be launching. Go by and use the code word love and go up to Ike and tell him, "I love you and I love your sandwiches," and he'll give you a free sandwich. He'll buy you lunch on our own David Meltzer, and our family would be happy to support. Everybody go down there, try the best sandwich in New Orleans, and we look forward to sharing prosperity with Ike, especially during the Super Bowl in New Orleans, which after the second half yesterday, gentlemen, I think my Chargers may actually make the playoffs and have a chance to make the Super Bowl. It will cost me a fortune if the Chargers make the Super Bowl, because I promised too many people in my family to go to the Super Bowl, and they think I get free. They think I get free tickets. I wish I did, but I don't. So it's going to be a fortune that's well worth it. We'll all be eating Ike's Love and Sandwiches at the Super Bowl, watching the Chargers versus who knows, somebody else that may make it. Anyway, Ike, any last words? Where is the exact location just for the people down there?
Well, speaking of the Chargers, come get the Jim Harbaugh sandwich. I'll make one for you. And so Ike's is on the corner of Touro and Dauphine. The address is 1940 Dauphine. We're doing free sandwiches for the first 100 people. I've got Ike's beads, Ike's t-shirts, lots of free samples. And then for the whole rest of the day, the sandwiches are $7.97 for the whole day. Come in, feed your whole family. Nobody in New Orleans should be eating anywhere other than Ike's today, because for $8, there's not even a better deal. And on top of that, the sandwiches are amazing. So come find me out. I'll be there all day from 10 to 10. I'll be here all weekend, but come find me.
Just use Yelp or Google to find one in your city. It's 120 around the country. It's amazing. You're amazing. Thanks for giving us a classic example of prosperity and abundance. Me and Jerremy Newsome are going to get right into our training. Everyone, let's salute my friend Ike Shahada of Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Thank you, brother.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Rockstar.
Right on. Cool. All right, Jay, let's get into this differentiator. And there are a lot of abundant people like my mom that do not and haven't experienced prosperity. And the kindest, most generous people are abundant. Our veterans, for example, our first responders, our teachers, our moms. There's so many wonderful, beautiful souls out there, brother. But They're abundant as all heck, but they're not prospering. Why?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting and unique to see and notice that difference, because I love that you're so aware of it, right? Like we can feel, and abundance is very important. It's very much needed. It's a great way to live. It's an amazing energy. It's an incredible vibration to be a part of. But for a lot of individuals, they don't have actual monetary riches. And having abundance, being happy, loving life, that's very important. But also, it's really awesome to have a lot of money as well. And that's, I think, my definition of prosperity, right? Prosperity is the distinguishing opportunity to also have, touch, feel, see, know wealth, riches, money. And what I love to teach, what I've been teaching for 15 years and pouring into people all over the world, is helping them understand the stock market, because the stock market is very mysterious to a lot of people. And it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, if you're a billionaire, if you're in real estate, if you have $47 in your bank account, if you're a felon, the stock market's available for every single person. Doesn't matter your skin color or your religion. And I think that's so phenomenal that it's opening its arms and says, I want to make you more money. Please understand me. That's the stock market. I want to give you more riches. It is an opportunity like we've never seen in the next 4 to 6 years to create incredible wealth. And I really want people to understand. I want people to know. I want people to be able to grow their net worth easily using the stock market. And the reason I say it's easy is because, as you know, David, it is.
It is. And you just need to find someone that sits in a situation that you want to be. The Jobs Act allowed everyone to participate in. I have 2 different areas I want to start with, and I'm thinking about which one. I think I'm going to start with this one. A lot of people don't understand, and I've studied history because history shows human nature, and human nature never changes. And the better we know human nature, you teach a lot about human nature in the stock market, but now it's available to everyone. One of the complaints that I hear from variant demographics is how unfair it's been, right? Never have the opportunity that Elon Musk has. I'll never, I can't. Well, how does the stock market itself, when we're getting you to from start to finish, right? First of all, the magic of what you do is you get people started, but also you press the buttons with them so that they're not afraid to actually execute. So getting started is very difficult. Executing is difficult. You take care of the 2 most difficult parts. Learning it is easy, but if they're not started, they don't learn. And a lot of people won't execute on what they've learned. But to that end, a lot of people say, well, I'll never be these guys. Isn't what you do allowing them to not be those people? Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, David Meltzers of the world, the CEO, isn't what you do allow them to partner with them?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a mindset shift, David, for many, many people, is because that's what a stock is, right? When you're buying a stock, you literally own shares, you share ownership of these companies. And so you are able to partner with them. You're able to take your money and give it to them so that they can grow it for you, right? They do all the work for you. So let's just take Elon Musk. I mean, you mentioned him. I've never met him in person, but Tesla, the stock, was around $200 3.5 months ago, and now it's $400 and some change, $440. That's a 100% difference mathematically. Meaning, if you had taken any amount of money and said, "All right, Elon Musk, I think you're going to build robots for the world to make the world a better place. I think you're going to take vehicles, driverless vehicles. I think you're going to XYZ, right? Add all these components that Tesla's working on building. And I think that Tesla is going to make more money in the future." If you had taken an amount of money, put it into Tesla 3.5 months ago, it's now double the money. That's a fantastically unique concept, because Tesla did all the marketing, they did all the webinars, they did all the ads, they did all the sales, they did all the refunds, they did all the invoices, they did all the customers, they did all the work for you. All you had to do was research and understand to put some money into it. That is a mindset shift, because what happens is you're allowing other people to grow your money for you, which means you need to study, which means you need to think, which means you need to be aware. But all of those aspects are practices. They are implementations that any single person listening to this right now can implement. It is fast, it is simple, and it is easy. And when you hear these three things, a lot of people get scared just because the stock market's mysterious. And let me tell you why. Talking about history, David, everyone's been in real estate because everyone's always had to live somewhere. So people generally understand real estate. 90% of every millionaire is made from real estate. 100% of billionaires are made from equities. And equities is another really cool word for stocks. So when you're talking about incredible wealth expansion, extremely fast abundance, when you're changing your mindsets and stepping into really, really incredible physical, tangible wealth, the stock market's a place that you have to understand, you need to learn.
And, I love listening to you and learning from you. And, one of the key aspects is not just learning and doing research and buying the stock for as little as $100. If you have $100, you can buy in there. It's, the thing that I've learned is to understand my timing and risk tolerance is when to sell, So if, when to take some money off the table, when to sell is a big deal. And very few people are a Sherpa or a mentor of that as well. And so go through not only how to get started, but how to execute. And part of execution is cashing some of it out, because my biggest failures have been as big as successes, meaning I didn't know when to sell and take money off the table to guarantee my success.
I think it's probably one of the biggest questions I get from people is, when do I sell? And I'm going to answer that in really probably two ways. There's a perspective and a mindset opportunity to have, where it's like, you don't have to sell certain companies, or you can invest forever, right? You're like, all right, I got kids and I want grandkids and I want grandkids. I'm going to buy stocks for them, or I'm going to buy index funds for them. I'm going to put money and I'm never going to sell it. That's a perspective to have. And I think it's a very, very valuable perspective. However, one thing that I've noticed that people really love more of is money. I've noticed that people love cash flow. And one of the principles that I've always had in my life is understanding second grade math pretty well. I actually got an A, David, like you. I think you also got an A in second grade math. You passed as well. And second grade math allows you to say, okay, if I buy 1,000 shares of a company, it goes up $3. I make $3,000. That math will never, ever, ever change. Now, imagine for people who are listening to this presentation, if you buy 1,000 shares of a company and it goes up $3, and you find that stock or you find that opportunity on the same company 200 times a year, 200 times 3,000 is $600,000. That's the math. And that's kind of like the mindset for me, where it's like, wait a minute, I have the ability to make $600,000 a year
off of $3,000.
What? What? All I need to do is capture 3 points 200 times on 1,000 shares. And once I really sat into that, my mind exploded. And coming back to when do you sell, I'll give you one real true answer. If you know ahead of time that you want to buy something, sell when you have the amount of profits to pay for that thing. And that thing can be a house, it can be a business, it can hopefully be an investment with David Meltzer. That's what I did, right? I invested with David. He is one of my mentors, and taking money, time, energy, and effort to go, oh my goodness, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take money from the markets and invest it into knowledge, invest it into time, invest into expansion, invest into network. What an opportunity. So I love to say, this is what I want to buy. I have that amount of money. I'm going to sell to pay for that thing.
I became chairman of Think and Grow Rich. When I became chairman of Napoleon Hill Institute, I thought of you, because the aspect, the brain and the spine of what you do. And I'm going to repeat what he said. Imagine if you set an objective and intention, if you had a singular focus, you had control of your impulse, and you said, I've done my research. I know the volatility of this investment. And when I go up 3 points, I know I can do that 200 times a year. And maybe I can do it 300 times a year, but 100 times when it doesn't work out. So that mitigates it down to 200. And I've mitigated the loss. So, because it's not a perfect science, but beyond that, I can make 600 grand off of that 3 grand. And that's what we've been able to do. That's why, I wanted you on here to change and shift the perspective. Now, let me shift the perspective even farther. I talked about how great you are at presenting and speaking, and I've seen you on stages, keynote. I've seen you on panels answering questions, which we're going to do today, and allow people to see true knowledge, not rehearsed knowledge. One of the things that we share is an understanding of prosperity within the context of abundance. And I always tell people, if you want to know how prosperity is intertwined in abundance, go ahead and Google Mother Teresa's net wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll realize that God, or what anyone can say, anything bigger than us, wants you not only to be abundant and humble, but they want you to prosper. Can you give me a little riff on how you think, aligned with how I think, that God, something bigger than us, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Joseph Smith, Mother Teresa, wants prosperity within abundance for everyone, and have had it including Jesus Christ?
My man, you're just my favorite topic, because when we're discussing the infinite, right? God being infinite. Everyone here, if you're here listening, type a 1 into the chat pane if you believe that God is infinite. So when you start from that concept that God is infinite, if you do not ask for more, you are not stepping into faith. You are proving that you have no real faith if you do not ask for more. Because if God is infinite, you can always have more, and you're not pulling from anything that is exhaustible. You can have more money, you can have more time, you can have more relationships, you can have more in your life. And this is a phenomenal time for many, many people, right? With Christmas coming up. And I want to remind people who are listening that Jesus, when he was born, was given 3 gifts. He was given frankincense, he was given myrrh, and he was given gold. And one of the questions that I would love to ask people is, how much gold was Jesus given? That's a question a lot of people don't ask. It's a question a lot of people don't think about, because it doesn't specifically say. And my theory is that what if Jesus was given a lot of gold? Right? I mean, you have these wise men who are traveling 6 miles from Jerusalem to Bethlehem, meaning they could have carried a lot of gold. What if Jesus was given a lot of gold? Because I don't think you're going to give a newborn king of the Jews, I don't think you're going to give a newborn king 1 singular gold coin, right, David? And then at the same time, like, are you going to give it like a small, little, tiny, insignificant pouch? Probably not. So how much gold was Jesus given? And when you start thinking about it from the perspective of, wait a minute, was Jesus monetarily very rich? You'd have to ask the question, well, it seems like maybe, because Judas, the reason he became jealous was because he was Jesus's money carrier, money handler, accountant, right? He carried the box of money around. And you have to think, well, what box of money? Where's Jesus getting all this money from? The awareness is, if Jesus was truly rich, which he was, and why would he not be? Why would you not be? You're talking about Mother Teresa, right? Mother Teresa had a private jet. It wasn't hers. She didn't own it, but she didn't have to either. It was given to her because she acted in so much faith. She stepped into so much prosperity, and she said, I know that more money can help more people. I'm gonna scare everyone here for just a quick second. If you have $50,000 net worth, you're not helping anybody. You're not really truly making large impact in this world. You are helping just your family. So if you think about it, having less money actually makes you more selfish because you're only spending time with just you, right? So having less money makes you more selfish. Having more money makes you more abundant and able to give more and help more people. It's a math formula. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be giving to every single charity. You can have charities that you're aligned with. You can have missions that really fulfill your heart. And you can say no to some things, just like you have, David. You've taught me to say no to things that do not perfectly align with your body, with your soul, with your intentions, and then say yes to the things that you truly care about, like your missions, the ones that you support. And I think people stepping into that world of God is infinite, I'm allowed to have as much as I want, and everyone can always have more, and we can always give, and we can always provide, and we can always step into abundance and prosperity. Not only can I feel it, but I can also have it. That, my friend, changes generations.
And it's amazing. If people don't believe it, I'm blessed to be the Chief Chancellor of Junior Achievement University, over 100 million alumni, supporting junior achievement entrepreneurship of 15-year-olds to 25-year-olds. And people ask me, how is it you were nominated for the second year for Nobel Peace Prize when you're about making money and teaching kids to make money and to be prosperous? That's what junior achievement is about. Your shirt says peace over everything. And, understanding the Nobel Peace Prize and how much they understand prosperity and the importance of prosperity, along with being abundant of everything, your shirt almost should be the team shirt for junior achievement and the Nobel Peace Prize combined. Peace for everything. And go ahead, Google Mother Teresa's net worth. You will see that it's probably more money than you have today, and capabilities go along with that. Now, what we're going to do next, my friend, Big Jer. Now, number one, I want to tell everyone, if you're interested in joining our neighborhood, Jerremy and my neighborhood, we have a great program to teach you how to get started, to teach you how to do and become prosperous, and then actually have you come into my Irvine Tower Mastermind Center studios and offices and work with us and press the buttons so that you know how to execute. So it's not just some video teaching you. It's not just somebody virtually teaching you. It's come on in and we'll sit down. You don't need very much money to get started, because it's more about making $3 a trade, $5 a trade, and making 200 successful trades in a year, which doesn't take all of your time to do so. And there's many different places Jerremy will teach you, like Robinhood and other things, to practice for $1 before you take $100, and then before you take $1,000 to get you to 600 or 6 million, wherever you want to go according to your Think and Grow Rich philosophies. But we'll be there holding hands. So please reach out to me, david@dmelter.com. Reach out to Jerremy Newsome at it's trade. Is that where we reach out to?
Yep. And I'll also post a link in the chat pane if people want to use that as well. But yeah, just reach out to me, reach out to David, message me if you want to be there in person at David's studios in Irvine, California, Orange County. We're going to help individuals truly see, know, feel, and understand the magnificent shifts that are available for you, for your money, for your legacy, for your net worth, because it is easy, just easier not to.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier not to.
Yeah, simple things to do are simple not to do, and this is one of those things that I wish more people would do, and that's why I'm taking the time to do it. But all right, Jerremy, we're going to take some questions now that everybody knows kind of a lay of the land of abundance versus prosperity. But Let's bring the Nick of Wam on one more time, the well-oiled machine. Nick of Wam, I need you to guide us. You will be the question Sherpa, but reset the room, and then let's go ahead and take some questions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And
he's taking a nap, I think.
thank you for the incredible and of course everybody for joining us. Now, as we hit halftime, we're trickling in. We're halfway through the third quarter here. Let's make sure not only we are continuing to invite all of our friends, family, colleagues, anyone that would benefit from this incredible conversation, but now, as it is, of course, time for some Q&A, please, if you are online, put your questions in the chat. And if you're live here on Clubhouse, please, if you are in the audience, use the hand icon to request to join the stage. Or, of course, if you're on stage, please just put a note in the room chat. Of course, I will go ahead and pass the mic over your way. Just as a reminder from today, if you want the guide from today's training, Prosperity versus Abundance, please reach out to either David at dmeltzer.com. And I'm sure David will be happy to throw in a copy of his books and even pay for shipping. It's just David at dmeltzer.com, and keep an eye out for the chat as Jeremy's going to putting in a link on exactly where to reach out to him as well. All right, gentlemen, now let's get rocking and rolling with the Q&A. Let's start here live club. We got Chef Ron, who's patiently waiting. So, Ron, it's great to see you here, my friend. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
Awesome. Thanks for getting on. That problem getting on. So Nick took care of it, Coach. Jeremy, nice to meet you. David's been my coach now for better part of a year. And so this is perfect timing, Coach. This training, I sent Colleen somebody I met who wants to join the group, and his mindset is where mine was and kind of still is with this and helping. I met him at the gym in the sauna. So my question is, for the mastermind, is how does he find out about this, Coach? Because he's actually has an office in California, this guy.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty good for him.
Yeah, no, it'd be great for him. So just have him email me or put a link as well. But if you know all my contact, if you just contact saying, hey, I want to join with you and Jeremy on the Prosperity real life trading tour in Mastermind, it absolutely is guaranteed a profit center for you. You got to get started. You got to learn the methodology, and you got to execute with us. Press the buttons with Jeremy that you know exactly from end to end how to get those 200 trades with $3 to $5 or $10. Who knows what your timing and risk tolerance is, but we'll help you even explore what your timing and risk tolerance is. And so it's just really a testament to why you coach with me is, I needed to teach you that the fastest way to get to where you want to be is not just help other people get where they be. It's finding someone to help you get to where you want to be. And Jeremy and I are co-sponsored each other. He's helping me and my kids get to where we want to be, and I help him get to where he wants to be. According to our skills, our knowledge of who and what, and of course our desires that are aligned. Our energy is very aligned, and even his family's energy is very aligned with my mission. Not worrying about the commissions, they follow always. So worry about your mission, not the commission, and just reach out. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you later as well, Ron. So thank you.
Give me a call.
Thank you. Happy holidays, brother. All right, who's up next? Love you, buddy. Nick of Wam. So we'll be happy to have these guys joining us, Jay. Wam, who's up next?
Absolutely. We're going to keep it live here in Clubhouse, and I'm going to pass it over to Jessica, and then we'll head over to Eamon. So, Jessica, thank you so much for your patience. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Hey, David. A question I have is how you know when it's time to move on from the value add things I've invested in and done this year that then we're meant to lead to something. So how do you know when it's time to reevaluate or hang in there as you're mission minded?
Beautiful. So, and I know he's crucial with his baby, so I'll go ahead and move this one on, and please comment, Jeremy, afterwards if there's anything to add. So I look at things a little differently. So there's circumstances of every day. Each day is a common denominator of all human experience. Everyone has the exact same amount of constructive time in a day, but everybody has different circumstances in the day. So the number one thing that you really want to focus in on in a mission, not mission, abundant and prosperous philosophy, not just abundant, is, am I making sure that I'm prioritizing my non-negotiables each day that are irrelevant of the circumstances of the day? See, I don't care what the weather is today, the interest rates are today, if I have a flat tire, I don't care, my in-laws are in town. It doesn't matter to me any circumstance of the day, because I know of the 24 hours, that's the common denominator of my human experience with other human being on earth, that I'm going to get a minimum of an hour a day on my health, a minimum amount of time with my family, a minimum of time on my faith, minimum amount of time studying my finances with Jeremy helping me, minimum of time on my study time. And so, in a minimum amount of time sleeping. So when I take, about 14 hours a day to handle the sleep and the non-negotiable wake behavior, regardless of circumstances, now this false facade of somehow having to transition all the time, that's bullshit. It's just, I'm prioritizing the other 10 hours a day beyond my sleep and non-negotiables. The 14 hours a day beyond my sleep and non-negotiables. I'm taking the circumstances of the day, prioritizing and reprioritizing according to where I want to be or better. Knowing the fastest way to get to where I want to be better is to find someone who's already there, ask them to help me get there, and to have other people get to where they want to be. Therefore, I'm reconciling abundance and prosperity at all time, but only in the context or the circumstance reality of each day, but making sure 7 days a week, regardless of whether I'm in Egypt, London, DC, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Orange County, SoFi Stadium, wherever it is I am, regardless of where I am, I know there's about 10 hours a day or 11 hours a day that's non-negotiable. So I don't have to worry about the circumstances of the day. I just have to schedule accordingly. It's just a scheduling thing for me that I'm growing every day. And then the other circumstantial things like my business and doing well, this deal's fucked up, excuse my language, I just had to say it. I didn't get into the college I wanted to get into. My wife is pissed at me because I didn't mean, because I was hangry. I don't care what the circumstances are. Everybody has different circumstances. My job is just to prioritize according to the circumstances. And the way we prioritize is knowing what we want, the divine direction. Now all those detours according to the circumstances become divine in their nature. And then time, actually, those extra hours become divine as well. And so in the context of knowing when is really understanding first your non-negotiable divine self 7 days a week, and then the prioritization that's necessary within the context of the circumstances that you're living in, not me, not Jeremy, that you're living in. We can help you prioritize. We can help you expand your skills, knowledge, and desire so you have more options, opportunities, touches of favor, regardless of the detours. And so, please, if you're not part of our community here regularly, if you don't come to Free Friday trainings, if you aren't in the group on Monday, if you're interested in joining Jeremy and I on a prosperity group or whatever else, then use our help, right? It just depends on what you want according to your circumstances. So I appreciate that question, because I know everyone is thinking what you're thinking right now. How do I know when? Well, there's only one common denominator each day, 24 hours a day, guaranteed to you every day, except for the last day of your life. And you need, within the context of 24 hours, to separate non-negotiable behaviors and negotiable behaviors. Jeremy, anything to add?
Make Monday your one day. Why are you always waiting for the best time? Just do it. That's really, ultimately it's like, it's getting clear, it's getting vision, it's getting the awareness of like, this is what I want to do. So go do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's say now 100% of the things you do now get done. 100% of the things you know to do next get done. We'll teach you how to know your who, know your how, but especially know your now. And instead of searching for your why, man's not in search of a meaning. You give meaning. You're in search of feeling alive. And instead of searching for your why, we're going to teach you to apply your why. And applying your why in that mission, the commitments will follow. Thank you, Jess. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to you reaching out to us, david@dmeltzer.com.
Beautiful.
That was good. Like, thank you so much. Really, that put a lot of context back into the circumstances. And real quickly, passing off to Iman. What I'm hearing in all of this is also prioritize when we are prioritizing ourselves. That energetically also impacts the income and the influence and all the other things. So if something's out of when we're past the bounds of our non-negotiables, or not aware of them, it is going to cause some leakage stuff. So yeah, really good. Thanks.
Thank you. Well put as well. Nick of Wam, we're in what was a beautiful night for Los Angeles Chargers, the fourth quarter, after coming back from an 11-point deficit. Why don't you, we weren't behind halftime ahead. Why don't we go ahead and blow it out in the fourth quarter? Who's up next?
Absolutely. And we are just getting into the fourth quarter. We got 11 minutes left here on this incredible prosperity versus abundance training. And we're going to stay live here on Clubhouse and pass it over to Eamon with the next question. And then, of course, we will pass it over to Brian. So, Eamon, thank you so much for your patience and for joining us. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, David. Good morning, Breakfast Champion. Actually, I don't have enough luck to meet David, but
Oh shit! Hold on.
my question is, why some people are not really able to receive? Because but at the same time, you are a giver, but feel itchy when you have to receive something, and
Yes.
you can't ask for it.
Yeah. So, why, Jeremy? I'm gonna let you take this one first. Why don't people like to receive? Why do they feel icky when they receive? What is it beyond worthiness? Because I think everyone. I'd like to gear you towards something that you've said before. How is faith intertwined with receiving?
My opinion, man, is it's a lot easier to receive if you know exactly why you need it. It's a lot easier. Okay. So for example, if everyone listening, if you have a child and you need a $50,000 to save your child's life, how hard would it be to take $50,000? Right. It's a must. And every single person will do that. Every single person will find a way. It's going to happen. Beg, borrow, or steal. I'll do whatever is required. That level of vision, that level of clarity is required, and it makes it a lot easier to receive. That's my answer, is when you feel icky or I don't know if I should, or if you know for sure you need something, and it's a must, it's an absolute requirement, it is a non-negotiable, it is a standard in your life. You need this. Doesn't have to be money. I need this interaction with this person. I need this connection. I need this relationship. I need this in my life. It's a lot easier to receive it when you need it.
Yeah. And let me do that, because that's brilliant. And I tell people all the time, Jeremy, why do people wait till they're starving to ask to eat?
Yeah.
You don't got to wait till you're starving to ask to eat. You see, for me, the intertwining of faith that says to me, there's an omniscient. That means all knowing. There is an all powerful. That means unlimited, infinite energy. And there's omniscient, all powerful, infinite. That means never ending, abundant, prosperous source that you may define as something bigger than you that loves you at all times, protects you at all times, promotes you at all times, and it perfects you at all times. And so in this infinite, unified, abundant, prosperous system of thought, how is it at all if you have faith in this being that's bigger than you and loves you more than your mommy? How is it even possible that there's not more than enough of everything that you want? So if I'm starving and I walk by two people that have 1,000 loaves of bread on their table, if I was starving, I would have no problem asking for one. Well, why do you need to starve to ask for one? Well, there's more than enough on their table already. There's more than enough on God's table of everything: bread, water, gold, silver, stocks, cash, crypto. There's more than enough of it. Just because somebody has 1 billion of it doesn't mean you won't and can't have 1 billion either. That's proven now every day. It was beyond 1957. It was beyond everyone's wildest imagination that you could be a billionaire. Now there's too many billionaires to count. There's almost going to be an infinite amount of billionaires. You don't even know how many billionaires there are. And this is, to me, the biggest mindset that we have to have is that, number one, there's more than enough of everything for everyone. I don't need to starve until I ask. I need to ask now so I don't starve and others don't starve around me. And that I am a faithful being. And two, I want to make people feel good. When I ask them to do something they're capable of doing, I'm guaranteed to make them feel better. I'm a healer. When I receive, if someone says to me, can you help me with that door? And I open a door because I'm capable of opening a door. And that person may be what I call a pod, a person of determination. Other people may look at what they don't have and call them handicapped or disabled. I don't do that. But when one of those people, these pods, come up to me, and say, can you help me with the door? And I'm capable of opening the door. And I open the door, even just talking about opening the door, and get choked up. Why? Because nothing makes me feel better. And if that pod didn't ask me to open the door, he would be denying our faith, our God, our infinite, abundant, prosperous, unified system that we belong to. That's what I'm trying to teach here with my boy Jerremy today. Hopefully it's inspiring you to do the same and to believe that there is peace over everything. There's more than enough of everything for everyone. And you can make people feel good by asking the right person who's capable of helping you to help you. Awesome. All right, we got our last question coming up, Nick of Wam. That's the oil mean in the infinite time zone, the infinite loop of more than enough of everything. Okay, you're Sir Wamnist. What's the last question?
That was a good one. I like that. I'm going to pass it over to Brian for the last question. Mr. Swift, it's great to see you. It's getting Swifty in Chicago, friend. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Man, it's always a pleasure. I wish I could write as fast as you guys talk, because of the wisdom that comes out. And I just want to tag along.
First of all, Brian, I got to interrupt you. Hey, buy everyone, get some AI earpieces. Not only will they record everything and transcribe them, but it also hooks to ChatGPT, also translates it into like 140 languages now. Outbound and inbound. So if you haven't made the investment yet, if you're one of those people like me that hang out with people that speak way too quickly, I use my AI earpiece now, and it captures and transcribes, translates, ChatGPT's it. It'll make your mind exponentially powerful. But go ahead, B. You're up.
Thank you for that. That's going down. It is my next purchase. To tag along on what you're saying, do you believe sometimes, and I guess I can only speak for men, but I believe it applies to everybody, our ego may get in the way of us believing that sometimes these detours that we take in life aren't divine detours, and that the problem, whether it be, like you said, of, why do people wait till they're starving, that they just don't believe that their problems, that they're big enough to transcend their problems because of our egos. And how much does that get in the way of really, of our faith to believe that our detours in life are divine, and they're a purpose, and that we might not always understand that purpose at first, but our faith, I've been blessed to understand that my faith is so great. I believe that these detours are divine, and there is a purpose that we might not understand now, but the ego seems to keep us from doing those things.
Absolutely.
Asking somebody to open the door, asking for that loaf of bread.
Absolutely. It's our purpose has to be greater than our pain. Jeremy, what do you think about the ego and its role in the interference between the abundant and the prosperous?
If you are aware of your ego, right? If you know that you're like, I have this internal fear belief construct that's keeping me from doing something, kill it. The ego can be trained. The ego can absolutely spend time going, I don't know what's going on. I like to have the saying that the ego doesn't exist after 50 miles on your legs. That's why I love
you would know.
I really like to spend time, energy, and effort in this existence of training the ego to be quiet, because we all know ego edging God out, right? We all know that. And so being
and in this training, it's edging gold out, because it's abundance and prosperity. It's edging gold out.
Yes, that's so good. That's so good. The truth is awareness. That's the key. If you know that you have that ego, if you know that it's there, figure out ways to just simply not listen to it, to love on it, to be okay with it being there, but to just simply say, thank you, fear, because fear is asking what if questions. What if this doesn't work? What if I lose? What if this isn't the right path? Faith is making even if statements. Even if this is the wrong path, I'm going to love it anyway. Even if this isn't the perfect business, I'm going to make it work. Even if I am moving to a different city or different state, and I don't know anyone there, it's all going to work out. Even if is a better way to approach life versus what if.
Not what if, but even if. And I only have one extra hack to provide in this abundance versus prosperous training. It's the instant and obvious reaction to fear. Fear is omnipresent. It's part of the ego. It will be invoked no matter what each day in our lives. It'll hit us. But how much time do you want to spend back to it in interference, edging God or goal or growth out of our lives? So the hack is, the reaction to fear that's interfering is instant and obvious, meaning you're worried, you're angry, you're upset, frustrated, inferior, superior, anxious, guilty, resentful. It's an easy hack. Just spend less time in the interference of the interference of the ego itself, edging gold and godness and greatness and growth out of your life. That's what me and I are here for. If you want to live not only in abundance but in prosperity, then join us with real life trading. Learn how to get started, learn how to learn, manage, and develop, and then learn how to execute. We're going to teach you how to make at least 200 trades a year for a minimum of $3 a profit a trade. We'll get you over $500,000 to do so. Let's make it prosperity and abundance, not just abundance. Jerremy Newsome, thank you so much. And I just absolutely am super excited for 2025. We're going to make more millionaires and billionaires. Our mission, making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun is exponentially growing. Jerremy Newsome, one more time, where can people reach out to you?
Please reach out to me on Instagram. It's a great way to connect with me. Twitter, all the social medias. You can email me. My phone number's in the chat pane. But if you're listening or watching, just like David, I put out my cell phone number because I know how easy it is to communicate with people. So I have a Gainesville, Florida area code, 352-246-4596. Text me, email me, message me. I'm everywhere it's available. Would love to help you. David and I are going to create an amazing product, and we look forward to serving you and providing you more wealth, more happiness, more abundance to your family.
Prosperity and abundance. Jerremy Newsome, thank you so much. I'll see you soon. I love you, brothers. Your wife. You got it. All right, everyone. Nick of Guam, why don't you go ahead and close it out on Clubhouse? I'm going to close it out on our seminar. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And thank you so so much, both David and
All right, everyone. That was the abundance versus prosperity training. Email me for all the information, including the exercise and guide from today of abundance versus prosperity. Also, if you want to join us on Mondays, email me or join Jeremy and I, david@dmeltzer.com. Free books, exercises, guides. I'll sign it. You pay for shipping and the book. If you want to be alerted about Atlanta with Goggins and those guys, we'll be keynoting there with Story. If you want to come to the CES Investor Mastermind with Global Gaming League at the Win with SiriusXM, with Will I Am and many other greats that will be coming by, come and learn from us with us on how to be prosperous, or at SoFi Stadium with those masterminds, or Catalyst with yeah. My goodness. I Bedros Kulian and I'm Barrett. There's so many things we have going on. Just join us on our text community, 949-298-2905. Once again, 949-298-2905. We are blessed to be and have a great community of people who want to help each other and know people that can help each other. Everyone, let's get on with our holidays. Be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. God, everybody. Hit it.